and welcome to After TUF. I'm Dean Thomas. Episode 1 is officially in the books, and we have a great show for you on deck. Coming up, Coach Iron Michael Chandler joins us live, and who knows, maybe, just maybe, a quick cameo from Conor McGregor. Episode 1 winner Roosevelt Roberts and Team McGregor coach John Kavanagh will also join the show. Plus, we have a ton of exclusive bonus footage that you haven't seen on this episode. But trust me, you don't want to miss it. After each week on After TUF, I'll be joined by some familiar faces from the previous season of The Ultimate Fighter. To kick things off, on this episode, we went big. The Ultimate Fighter Season 2 winner, Coach from Season 10, the former light heavyweight champion, the UFC Hall of Famer, the UFC's original Suga. But when I see him, it's my heart. It's my brother, Suga Rashad Evans.
What's going on?
My man, let me get a look at you, boy. Let me look at you.
Okay,
Why you got the Kumite shirt on? You got me out here in my grandmother's sweater. What's up, man? How are you?
It's nicely neat. I'm good, man. I'm good. It's good to be here, man. It's good to be back with all the excitement. Conor McGregor's back in the house.
So watching that season, just watching that first episode, what kind of traumatic memories does that bring for you? You was a season winner. You was a coach. How do you feel about like just going back and watching it the first time?
I love it, man, because it's a thing that, I have a lot of fond memories of, but I also have a lot of memories that, I became a fighter. I became a man on that show. Having to face the adversity that I had to face on the show, it pretty much got me ready for the rest of my career. So I got so much respect for the show TUF because it brought the best out in me.
I love it. So every week, we're going to show you a lot of scenes that didn't make it into each week's episode. And first up, here's some of what you didn't see of when Conor and Michael first met.
Ready to do this thing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Get these kids in freaking contact.
That's it, my man. And then get me and you going, brother. Yeah, you called for it. You got it. Yeah, sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for, but you're a goer. You're a fighter.
I love it.
And that's it. I'm looking forward to doing.
Exactly
I look forward to having a knock and fair play to you.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
I'm happy to be here with you, man. Yeah, and do the thing with your boys. Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. This is a be ready, stay ready at all times.
That's it, my man. That's it.
Stay ready at all times.
You never know.
Just be locked in Vegas together for 4 weeks.
That's it. Did you ever fight in the Apex, no? No, me neither. I would have liked to, though.
Really?
Yeah, with no sound.
I actually loved it.
Imagine my shots with no
loved
crowd. Imagine the sound of my shots with no crowd.
Yeah.
You'll hear them up close. You'll hear
Imagine
them
my
up.
shots with no crowd. Like,
yeah, whistling.
I
Wish I was
fought
whistling by, buddy.
no,
Yeah.
come on, dude. Come on. Come on now.
Whistlers, we call them.
Is that what
Nowhere
we call them?
close.
Is that what we
Nowhere
call them?
close. Wind. Wind, we call them.
Hey, but if it lands, if it lands.
Yeah. Too late.
No.
Too late is what
No
the man
way.
says.
You got something to prove? But I don't think you're a machine gun in the face.
Trust me, bro.
It's the
Yeah,
pressure.
trust me, man.
It's the pressure that you can't deal with.
Bro, ain't no pressure. What pressure? Pressure on me? Ain't no pressure.
The physical pressure, the fight pressure.
I'm just
Not the fight spectacle pressure. You don't feel that.
I'm just talking about technical work that I've been doing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pin you. I'm gonna pin you, boys. Yeah?
Straight left. Pull back straight left, old school Conor.
All of them. I thought you said something about a
It was
submission. You didn't say anything about a submission, did you?
Me?
Yeah, but you didn't say a submission.
No.
Nah, come on now with that nonsense, will you, pal?
You want me to submit you or you want me to?
You'll never in your life. You'll never do. We're gonna have a good fight.
It's gonna be a great
We're gonna
fight.
have a good fight.
That's what I've said. I've said. Everybody says red painted night.
Yeah,
Everybody says
yeah,
the big
yeah,
one. Like,
yeah.
dude, it's a good fight.
Yeah. I'm happy.
Track records speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Check the resume.
Yeah, for sure. That's it. Well, look, I've had Dana waiting on me long enough at the press conferences. We'll allow this one, yeah?
Hey.
We'll take this one on the chin, but don't be making it a habit for the rest of the show. Show up on time, mate, yeah?
Rashad, how awkward was that?
Oh, it was so awkward, man. And it's rare to see Conor ever a loss for words, but I mean, he felt a little awkward. He was just in an awkward space.
It looked very awkward for both of them. But let's welcome in this season's coach, Iron Michael Chandler. There he is. He's out there. Mike, what's going on, boy?
What's up, Chandler?
What's up, man? Thank y'all so much for having me. That was an awesome episode. Finally, season 31 is among us. I've been waiting for, it seems like a year for this thing, but here we are.
So we just saw that little clip with you and him in the room. Was that your first interaction with him? And why was it so awkward? It seemed like he kept you on your toes the entire time.
Yeah, so honestly, Conor and I had met because we shared a press conference before. We shared a card before. My day was when he fought Poirier. I fought Dan Hooker. So, but that was when they said, hey, go wait in the gym and we'll let you know when we're ready. I'm like, I stood there by myself for about 10 minutes and I realized, okay, wait a second. They're about to send Conor in here. And then they left us in there for about 30 minutes. Like, what do you do? What do? You just sit there. You want to start talking trash. You want to start insulting each other. Conor and I have a ton of respect for each other. So I think that's kind of what you saw there. You know, I think I'm going to beat him. He thinks he's going to beat me, and that's it.
Chandler, going into the show, how did you prepare to go head-to-head with Conor? Because, like, you know he has a way to kind of bully you without even bullying you. He has wise with his words. Like, what was your mindset going into the whole, setup with Conor?
Man, yeah, he's a wordsmith, man, and he is so comfortable in that realm. You guys said awkward. I don't think Conor wanted to come in spitting venom like he normally did, and it's not because he's afraid of me. It's not because I'm sitting here trying to act like I'm some tough guy, and I made Conor outside of his realm. I think Conor has a lot of respect for me. I have a lot of respect for him. What's he going to say, man? What am I going to say to him aside from the fact that I'm going to beat him? I've watched all of his tape. He's watched all of my tape. He's making a little bit of fun of me, but I'm making a little fun of him. Essentially, I didn't have any time to prepare, but I was not going to go into the show thinking I was going to go out there and win the verbal jiu-jitsu match with the wordsmith that is Conor McGregor. So I was picking and choosing my time. Sometimes you gotta lead with humility just to show them that they're not getting under your skin whatsoever. And I think that was what a lot you're going to see this season, but also a little bit of back and forth verbal altercations as well.
Now, in terms of your team, you got stuck with the first group of lightweight vets, and then you chose the bantamweight vets. Is that the way you preferred the situation to be, or was this something that, okay, when it was said and done, you said, all right, I'm going to look for the positives in order to justify having these veterans?
Man, I will be completely honest with you, and I sat right here in this studio because I'm doing a live a reaction show, a full hour, so I was able to go more in depth to it. But I will tell you this right now, my coach, Jason Strout, one of my favorite people on the planet, had a Sharpie, and he wrote 55U on his hand because we wanted the 55 up-and-comers, but it was only because we didn't think they were a better group. I just wanted the group with Lee Hammond in it, who we knew was Conor's boy. Lo and behold, we lose the toss. He picks us the 55 up-and-comers, and honestly, it was a blessing in disguise. I look back and think, thank God that Conor won the toss and I got the veterans, because my guys will forever hold a huge place in my heart. I'm absolutely in love with the process that we just put together over these next 12 weeks that y'all are going to see. I love my dudes, and I'm so happy I got all the veterans.
All right, now you and Conor, you're set to fight sometime after the season wraps, and I was just told, I just heard that Conor McGregor has entered the USADA pool. I repeat, Conor McGregor has entered the USADA pool, and we actually have the footage. Let's take a look.
Michael Chandler, you little rat! I'm gonna sever your head, clean off of your shoulders, and you'll do nothing. You'll do nothing. You see me watch? It costs more than your entire apartment. I'll see you at the end of the season, Michael.
Gosh, dude. Hey, thank God he's finally in the USADA testing pool. It had to be official. Did you see that sign?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You saw the sign. It was official. Now, after watching that, how scared are you of Conor now?
Hey, man, everybody knows, Conor Conor is who he is, man. I haven't seen the documentary yet, but everybody I've talked to just talks about how this, and he said it today with his interview with Megan O'Leary that got released. He thinks this is the biggest comeback in sports history. So the dude's coming back for sure. He's fighting me. There's only one guy he's going to fight. It's going to be later this year. We don't know if it's going to be late fall, winter time. Who knows? But either way, I'm training for him. He's training for me, and we're going to get to see over the next 11 weeks how Conor and I navigate this whole relationship thing.
All right, we got a question from a fan here, and this one is from BMF Rodrigo. He wants to know if you could pick the venue for your next fight, where would you want it to be?
Oh man, if I had my choice, it's in Vegas. I've been signed with UFC now for almost 3 years, and I haven't fought in Vegas yet. So I would like it to be Vegas. I would love to do T-Mobile, but I think we need to go big. I say my preference, Allegiant Stadium in Vegas.
All right, let's check out some never-before-seen footage of you and Conor talking about which weight you two may fight at.
Do you know what weight it's going to be? Have I told you what weight it's going to be? 185. Hell yeah.
Hey, I'll
Hell yeah, I'm 185.
I would love to do 185.
Because I'm not cutting from my weight.
You want to do 185? I'll do 185.
You'll do what you're told, yeah?
Hey,
It's the UFC with the Mac, yeah?
Hey, you know what?
It's UFC with the Mac, baby.
UFC. Hey, I saw that. That was good. The UFC with the Mac.
Yes.
But 185? You want to do 185?
See what happens. See what happens. Stay ready. Stay
I don't want
ready.
to cut anyway.
Stay ready.
I don't want to cut anyway.
Stay ready. 205.
I like
the 205.
Hey, as long as it ain't 155.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll make 155.
Yeah.
But
You'd make 155?
I
Of course,
could.
yeah,
I mean, I could.
155.
Yeah.
You're a 155.
You're a 145 or 55er?
I'm super heavy.
Super heavy now.
Super heavy.
Super.
I'm
You had to
super
take a
heavy.
couple inches out on the suits. You had to take a couple inches out on the suits. Yeah.
I'm all the weights.
Yeah.
The Mac. What's the weight now, Michael?
87, 86.
When you say 87, 86, you say it in as in 187,
Pounds,
186?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
How many kilos is that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't looked at a scale in a minute myself. You know, I may do the premiere on this show.
Yeah, there you go.
To see what
Something
weight.
there?
So you'll
That
hear
one-
about
that one right there.
you'll hear about what weight it is, yeah? Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Episode 3.
Episode 3. Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
At the end of episode 2, what's he weigh?
Big
don't know.
fat on a scale, yeah? Yeah, right. Big boss on a scale, yeah?
Chandler, you guys talked about the weight class and everything else like that. Now, McGregor looks kind of big. Physically speaking, what do you expect from McGregor as the fight gets kind of closer?
Man, I mean, obviously he's going to slim down a little bit. I'm sure. You know, he's been out of a training camp. You go into a training camp, you're going to lose a little bit of excess mass, if you will. Conor's, definitely put on some size. Let's be honest. But it's funny. I call it his bluff. It's not a you'll do what you're told type of situation. It's I would love to fight at 185. I'd love to cut no weight. I'd fight at 170. The fight's happening. This is the fight that we're doing. Obviously, it doesn't need to be at 155. So hey, let's do it at 170. Let's do it 185. But you notice Conor and I are about the same size. He's got some really good camera angles, really good lighting, and he picks the right photos for his Instagram feed. But he's definitely put on some mass. But is he going to be able to carry that mass well? Is he going to be the same fast, reactive, snappy, slicey Conor that he has been in the past when he won 2 world titles? It remains to be seen because he's definitely a lot bigger.
Mike, we appreciate you, my friend. We'll see you next week and every week after that right here on After TUF, man. We appreciate you. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all. See ya.
All right, now we're showing you what it was like when Coach McGregor and Coach Chandler first met on the show. Now it's time to take you back and show you what it was like for 2 other coaches that both enjoy throwing around some very specific words.
You a bitch.
Treat me like a bitch, then, Rashad.
You a bitch.
Treat me like a bitch right now.
Treat me like
I'm gonna treat you in my face, call me a bitch. Treat me like a bitch right now.
You a bitch.
Treat me like a bitch right now.
Straight up.
You in my face, call me a
You a
bitch. Treat me like a bitch right now.
You a bitch.
Treat me like a bitch right now.
Like I said, you a bitch.
Treat me like a bitch right now. Treat me like a bitch right now.
You know you a bitch.
Treat me like a bitch right now.
You know you a bitch.
You a coward ass
You a
bitch.
bitch. You a bitch.
You a coward ass bitch. So you in my face, call me.
Back up, dude. Back up, dude.
Dude, I know you just didn't do that.
Yes, I did.
I know you just didn't do
Yes,
that.
I did.
Dude.
You know I did.
You came my face.
So what?
Hey, why you got one shoe on, one shoe
Because
off?
I was ready to break one of your mother ass. That's why.
You said what?
I was ready to break. I was ready to get. I
You
was ready
feel
to break
from the
off in
jump.
your ass,
Hey,
baby. I was ready to break in your ass.
Please.
Okay.
Rashad.
Okay.
Look at me.
We gonna get
Look
a
at
chance.
me.
We gonna
No,
get a
no, no,
chance. We
no.
gonna get a chance.
No, no. Don't make threats. Then and say we're gonna get a chance. Listen, I'm right here right now. I'm here right now. Listen, I'm here right now in your mother face.
I'm telling you, baby.
Please. Touch me, please. Somebody take both shoes off.
Oh my God, that's felony, Rashad. Rashad, like that's the type of dude that I'm scared of in the street.
Hey, I had to tap into that savageness because I had Rampage trying to raise his leg on me on every episode, man. Every single time I seen him, it was always that kind of energy. So I had to give it back, man.
Man, that was scary. But let me tell you something now. Let's take a look at the team scorecard. We just all witnessed the first fighter this season, a lightweight veteran, put the team win in a column. He put it on for his team. So let's bring in the winner of episode 1, representing Team Chandler, the man himself, Roosevelt Roberts. Hey, Roosevelt, we just confirmed that the Nevada State Commission said that your fight was tied for the fastest knockout in TUF history, 8 seconds, tied with Uriah Hall and Sam Cecilia. How's that make you feel?
Man, that makes me feel great, man. You know, like I said, it's been a long journey, so to come back in and do it like that, it feels great.
So what was the vibe like right after that knockout, going into the house? Because you knock a guy out, then you got to go right back into the house with him. Like, was you walking around peacocking like, yo, call me 8 seconds for the next couple weeks? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my name. What's happening?
No, man. I mean, yeah, part of me wanted to be like that, but honestly, I was trying to it was hard for me to be around him a little bit. I kind of felt back. I know we all chasing the same dream, you know, and I know how it feels to be at the bottom. So, you know, I felt bad, but I also understood, you know, we're here to do a job and I got to get it done. So, you know, my chest was poked out a little bit and I was just ready for the second round.
Roosevelt, you came into this fight a lot different than I've seen you in the last couple fights, and your mindset seemed to be different. What was that valley like where you had to kind of, you know, get yourself together again to really get back out here and compete again? What was that valley like for you?
And you know, I was kind of at the road of giving up, man. Like, I wasn't able to get no fights. The money wasn't right, you know. So I was kind of to the point where I was losing faith in myself and just saw like, you know, maybe this just ain't for me anymore, you know. And I felt like this was just God's timing, man. He put me in the right place at the right time. I was mentally down, mentally beating myself up, and you know, he just put me in the right place, man. Told me like, you know, like this is what you meant to be doing. You know, this is what you got to be doing. I put you on here to do this, and you know, don't give up on yourself. Just keep going. So, you know, it was a long, hard journey, man. These last 2 years I was cut, man. It was a roller coaster ride, and I'm just blessed to be able to keep doing this, play this game that I love, you know, and you know, just try to make it back to where I know I belong.
Fellas, I know y'all been in this situation before where y'all done messed up with your woman and you trying to apologize, trying to get her back into the good graces. This clip reminds me of exactly just that.
Yeah. Hey, Daniel.
Congrats.
I know I up my contract last time. I'm coming back, man.
All right.
Coming back.
All right.
But hey, what's up with that, man? You're like, hey, come here, baby. You know what I'm saying? You know, I messed up. Now what's happening?
Well, take me back, baby. I'm sorry. You feel me? You know, but you know, I just let Dana know, man, that, you know, I made some mistakes. You know I did. I didn't do things the right way. Didn't take things as serious as I should have took them. And you know, I'm just thankful and blessed to have this opportunity. And I definitely didn't want to mess it up. You know, Michael Chandler, he put me in the first fight for a reason. He wanted me to go out there and make a statement. So, you know, I want to go out there and leave it all with a bang.
Yeah, I seen that you had a journal that you wrote that you said after you got cut from the UFC. Are you still looking back and reading that journal to kind of remind yourself of every single step you take along the way?
Yeah, I still got that journal to this day. And I go back and I read it and I see the things that like my mindset. I see how down I was. I see how far down I was, and I see how much I gave up on myself back then, you know, and you know, but it shows me how strong I am too. You know, it shows me that I'm never gonna give up, and I'm always gonna push forward no matter what happens. I'm always gonna try to make myself better, and I'm always keep that journal. Always keep that journal. I'm always gonna look back on it, read it, and make sure that I'm never down at that space again.
Hey, Roosevelt, let's talk about your coach for a minute. So during the episode, you said you didn't think that you would vibe with Conor and you was glad to be on Team Chandler. So what was it about Chandler that stood out, or what was it about Conor that turned you off?
Well, honestly, Chandler, before I even met Chandler, and just seeing him deal with people, and like he just seemed like a down to earth dude, you know. And when I met him, it just made that it just clicked even better, you know. The way he talked, the way he coached, everything was just like it was match made perfect for me, you know. Definitely with Jason Strauss, man. I love Jason Strauss, his striking coach. I love working with him, love hitting pads. So, those two are like definitely like people that helped me in that journey when I was in the tough house. And Conor, man, Conor just, he's bipolar, man. One minute he's good, one minute he's not. So I just felt like, it's either we gonna click or we not gonna click. And I just felt like Chandler would be the best option for me.
I love it. Well, Roosevelt, impressive win for you. Good luck to you in the rest of the season, and I hope to see you down in Florida. But all eyes were on this first episode of TUF, and talking with Team McGregor and Team Chandler, but some big names were even tuned in to this episode.
Stephen A. Smith here, and I am your MMA authority on all things UFC. The new season of TUF is upon us, but I've been watching TUF since the very first season, back when Forrest Gump was the champion. Now, 31 seasons deep, we have the notorious Conor McGregor taking on Michael Chandler. And I think Michael Chandler is a great fighter. But I gotta be honest, the boy has got no cardio. I've seen Teslas with a better gas tank than him. But I digress. This very first episode was spectacular. And shout out to Theodore Roosevelt for his slick submission victory over the very game Nate Gentleman. He fought masterfully. It was a splendiferous performance, and I wouldn't be surprised if it got him a title shot against the champion John Jones.
Wow, Stephen A. Smith even out here. That's
I really thought
impressive.
it was Stephen A. For a minute. I was, man.
Impressive. But Rashad, Conor won the coin toss and got the first pick. And when you coached on season 10, you also won the coin toss. Like, what was the strategy for having that first pick, and what would it have been like for you if you were in Conor's shoes? Pros or vets? What would you take?
I would have took the vets, man. I would have took the vets, and I would have took them just mainly for the fact that, these are guys who got cut. These are guys who had to feel that sting, had to feel that burn, and feeling that stealing that burn, and having a social aspect of it too, and having people that you were close with no longer messing with you no more. Those are all things that help you, bring out that thing that's inside of you once again. And these guys are focused, they're ready to go, and I definitely would have took the vets, man.
So something else you didn't see on the first episode was a pep talk with Conor. He had his team. Let's take a look at this.
Dog's what we're looking for. Yeah, dog. You know what I'm saying? You're going to take it no matter what. You're going to go and get it. That's what we're looking for here. Nothing else. All the other means nothing except in there. You go for it in there against anyone, any weight, any time. That's what we're after here in this company. It's what got me to where I got to. Nothing else. Not the talk or anything. Just the work and the commitment and the willingness. I always say, if you're willing, you're able. It's just, if you're willing to get in and do it, you're able to go all the way with it, all the fucking way. So, go for it. Let me see. Let's see the young blood in the business. I'm excited for you guys. It's a huge platform. ESPN is going to be the biggest of all. It's the first time it's on ESPN. Like the Super Sunday football games and all the rest of it. That's going to be the clips of you getting his knockout wins and his victories and his speeches are going to be playing for the American public all over. So it's an incredible opportunity. Use that fire that you have. We're going to put a good system together for some good training. Again, sharp, energetic, fresh. If you need something, speak. You know what I'm saying? You're the narrator of your life, of your journey. This is your journey. It's not. I'm not going to come in and drill sergeant try and take over this. I'm going to lay a nice foundation for you to win. you know, keep sharp and get a sweat in. It's 4 weeks. We're fighting in a couple of days. Less than a week we're fighting. So, you know, we keep sharp and keep fresh, and that's it.
Obviously a very compelling speech from Conor to those guys. What do you think they took away from that?
You know, I took away being accountable. Accountability is what I think that Conor is really speaking about. You know, he's been on the show before. He understands the fact that there's only so much time that you have with these fighters, so you're really not going to remake their game. You're going to refine it and not trying to add too much to it, not trying to overcoach, is I felt like the perspective that he's coming from. And, you know, the accountability, being sure that you do what you need to do individually to make sure that you're able to show up on fight day.
And I think more than anything else, like just coming from Conor, like Conor is kind of their hero. I mean, you got this figure, this mythical figure walking around, and he's in a suit, and we know he's the biggest star in the sport, and he's giving these guys a pep talk. I really feel like it should have motivated those guys.
Absolutely. I like the fact that Conor walked that line really good of being that brash guy, you know, kind of wearing the suits, the fancy cars, but then he has the aspect of being able to go in there and gym and sweat with the guys, go in there and bleed with the guys. That really gains respect.
So Conor and Michael had two completely different coaching styles. Conor was like balls to the wall. He even hopped in and sparred with the guys. And Michael Chandler, he kind of eased his team in with some drills. Now, Rashad, you had experience with season 2 as a competitor, and you had Rich Franklin as a coach, and he had a style similar to Chandler, right? But Matt Hughes was pretty ruthless. Which style do you prefer if you were in a situation?
You know, I like the drill aspect of it, to be honest. I mean, you know, it's from a point of view where you're just kind of touching up on some of the things that you really need to do. You know, I feel like if you bang too hard in sparring, and that tends to happen on those shows because people coming in with a lot to prove, you can get hurt and not make it to the big fights. So drilling, making sure you're working on your timing and working on different technique can go a big, long way for these guys.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know Matt Hughes was kind of hard on you, but there's been 31 seasons of The Ultimate Fighter. And at the apex, there's an entire wall that pays homage to each season. And we caught Conor taking a stroll down memory lane.
You got the OG one, Team Liddell, Team Couture. And you know, there can be a lot of everything after it. Like, as you see, only one OG in the thing, you know what I mean? There's a couple of other champs, not that many. There's only one OG champ. Pulver and Penn was probably one of my favorite ones. It was the lightweight one. Obviously, I was a lighter guy looking at how am I going to get in here? I'm only 145 at best at that time. And I'm looking at the 170s thinking, right, get the grub into me. So when we got Pulver and Penn in, and a whole load of lightweights, Nate was on this one, wasn't he? Look, there's Nate won it, yeah. Nate was on this one. So it was like, right, I'll catch you soon, Nate, yeah? Then they started doing this USA, UK. I remember that one, Rampage and Rashad. That was a good one. That was a very good one. He ripped the door off the wall. There you go. There's the Mac Daddy, Team Mac G. And no, it's suited and booted, yeah. Jam jar across the eye, fresh out of the cage. And I have the jersey over it. And then we got Abner Lovares, David Tamor. He's still rocking Francis Siloa, Marcin, Martin Svensson, Mehdi Baghdad, Sasha, Saul Rogers, and the love ball fellow. Hell. And then obviously you got Uriah. It was a bit of banter, a bit of fun. And he had a good little team. Billy, your man Chris, James, Jason, Julian, Ryan Hall, great fighter. Tan Lee. He was a good little fighter as well, him. He was all right. Tom Galecchio, yeah, solid. Johnny, it was a good show. Great experience. Where'd I put the name? You know yourself. Boom. That was Arek Sternalski. He was my jiu-jitsu coach. Good lad, Arek was. A good team. We were good. We won it in the end. We won it.
You know what's crazy about Conor is that no matter, you know, he's got $1 billion, he's rich, he flies around, he does all this crazy stuff, but yet at the core of it all, he's still one of us. Like, he still follows the sport and knows all about the sport, which is kind of like, I don't care what you're doing out here, dog. I still know what's going on inside here.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the most interesting parts about him is because he's had all this wild success outside of the octagon, but he truly still resonates as a fighter. And I feel like that's why he's going to be around for at least a few more fights. You know what I'm saying? He's going to try to remake himself in so many different ways, and he's got that mindset. And as you get older, your mindset gets sharper. It's just a matter if you have the physical skill sets to keep up.
Now, I don't know if you caught this, but in that whole little charade, he was like, yo, this season with Rashad and Rampage was good. Like, did you catch that?
I caught it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how'd that make you feel?
It felt good, man. It feels good, man. It feels good to be recognized for what a great season that we had. You know, it was just a lot of back and forth action, but at the end of it, the fans got to walk away truly getting ready for a fight. You know, really understanding that we didn't like each other. And that's what really makes people want to tune in, when they know the coaches don't like each other, when they know they're getting a fight that's going to produce some kind of venom.
I mean, that was crazy. Like, just watching you guys in the little back and forth.
It got to the point, Dean, where they had to pull us aside and be like, look, man, I know you guys don't like each other, but we got to be able to film something. Like, you guys are too crazy, man.
Well, it's no secret that Conor does everything in extravagant style. So if Say Less was a person, well, this Conor in this exclusive bonus clip would be exactly just that.
They wanted to do something where they drive you around, or you drive around. We thought we were coming in like a Lambo or something like that.
Oh, I can get you a Lambo if you want, my man. No bother.
Yo, why Conor always got to walk like he bad?
I mean, because he got a Lambo.
Like, I know he got the Lambo, but I'm saying, like, he got to walk like he got like yoga pants on, like his pants be so tight and his thighs be popping out. Man, why you got to be so flashy?
That's the walk, right? That's the walk of success. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you what. But another clip that didn't make it into this first episode was Conor talking strategy with his coaching team.
Yeah, this would be our fourth pick, I'd imagine, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the man himself, yeah. Big four, yeah. Just want to have a look through this.
Big four, we know what we want. We want the young guns in the 155-pound division. That's the first choice, to get Lee around back under the gun. But I mean, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. You know, the lads have to go deal with themselves, and that's it. You can't hold no one's hand. You can't be like a drill marshal or something. You know, there's 4 weeks here. These guys, it's their life, it's their dream, it's their aspirations. Show me how much you want it, and that's it. So whoever we end up with and however we end up with, we'll regroup and we'll gather and go from there. We got the old blood. These are the veterans. We know Brad also. Yeah. We know Brad also.
So a number one pick,
135.
Yeah, he'd be the vet.
So the old blood 135 and the young blood 155 would be our pick.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Take it from there.
Yeah, obviously we want the young blood 155. We can always just mince through all them handy as well. Just huge box snacks.
Yeah. We know what we want anyway.
In time. That's it. In time. We'll get our team. We'll assess once we have our teams. Yeah. And that's it. We go from there. Love the colours, Team McGregor. Let's go. Let's get it
on. Let's go.
Let's take you across the Atlantic all the way to the Black Forge Inn in Dublin, Ireland, where we are joined by Team McGregor coach John Kavanagh. John, as a longtime coach, I want to talk to you coach to coach, man to man. Now, Conor was very adamant about getting that first group of 155-pound prospects. Then he was given the second group of prospects. Was this something that was discussed as a team? And also, were you hoping to get the vets at 135? Because now you had to coach against Brad Katona.
Yeah, what's up, Coach? First of all, a pleasure to be speaking with you. And we just finished watching episode 1 there. It's looking great. I know it's going to be a great season. A lot of drama, a lot of action. But on the team picks, we wanted to get Lee Hammond on our team. He's quite new to the pro game. He's been with us a long time, training with us a long time, but he's only been a pro for about a year now. And Conor wanted to get him under the wing. In contrast to that, Brad Katona's been around the game a long time. He's won the Ultimate Fighter before. He's been with me for a long, long time. So the way it worked out was we knew that if we picked Lee, we probably were not going to get Brad. Just the way they broke it up, that we knew we got the new blood they were going to get the veterans in the 55, and then we knew they were going to pick the veterans in the 35. But Brad Cantona, like I said, he's a veteran. He's been around the game a long time, and we just felt Lee would maybe do better being under direct contact. And hey, to have Brad over the other side and learning a few new things from different coaches, he's probably sick and tired of hearing my voice, so good for him to get something new from Chandler and those guys.
That's a very smart move on you guys as part of veteran move. I applaud you for that. Now, initially, during the first training, you guys had sparring right away. Conor jumped right into the sparring. What was your first thoughts on the team after that first sparring session?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I was hesitant with Conor's decision to have them sparring right away because, not to ruin the magic of TV, but we were only with the guys for a few days before they had their first fight. But I thought it turned out to be a really smart move that it sort of got the nerves out. They were put right into a pressurized situation, and you know what it's like, Dean, when you're facing somebody in a sparring situation that you don't know, it's not a teammate. It can be quite competitive early on. So although we did have them spar right away, it was under control. We had a lot of coaches on the mat to make sure if things got a bit spicy, we could cool it down. But I thought it was a great move to get the guys settled in. And, by the end of it, we could see that a lot of the guys we had the new bloods. We had a lot of guys with good skills on the mat. And, it got everybody, I thought, a little bit settled for what was going to come.
Now, I saw Conor jumped into that sparring session. I'm sure he had a lot of fun. How has coaching this season rejuvenated his love for the game?
Yeah, for me, the love of the game with Conor is always there. Conor has a lot going on in his life, different businesses, different things he's involved in. But every time I talk to him, there's only one topic on, and that's mixed martial arts. We're talking about it, we're doing it. And for me, I hadn't actually been around Conor in a while. And then we went up to kind of get things started on this season and to see him in there. And we had a really good sparring partner as part of the team. And to see him being in there and being able to go kind of full tilt early on, it was kind of exciting for what's to come.
Coach, the last time we spoke, you did the Dean Diaries out in Abu Dhabi with me, and you were coaching Conor to fight Poirier. Now, for this whole season of The Ultimate Fighter, you were coaching alongside of Conor. Can you tell me which Conor you like better?
I missed out on the previous season that Conor was involved in. I just had too much going on with the gym, and I couldn't be away for that long. But for this season, I made a kind of a bit of a pact with my wife. I said, look, I'm going to be gone for a while, but this is something important. I don't have to tell it to you, but for everybody to be part of an Ultimate Fighter season, it's a huge box to tick for me as somebody, in love with the sport. So I made the commitment to go out. And for me, Conor used to coach my boxing class before he was a UFC star. He was part of the coaching team for SBG way back in the day. And I always enjoyed sitting in on his classes. He was a really passionate, a very technical coach. And I actually picked up a lot of things working alongside him this season. So I don't think it's any secret to say that Conor and I have quite different personalities and how we approach things. But just from a technical point of view, I actually learned quite a lot just listening to him. So I really enjoyed it.
Well, Coach, I truly appreciate your time. Cheers to you and Ireland. And best of luck to all that you've got going on and all that you got coming up. And I can't wait to see the rest of the season.
Well, I'll say to you, Sláinte.
But I will say this about John Kavanagh. What a stand-up guy. And for him to have his reservations about sparring that early on, do you think that was a good decision for those guys?
Yeah, I like it the way they said it. They broke it down from the aspect of getting the fighters comfortable, getting them a chance to kind of blow out some of those nerves and get more relaxed. But when I was coaching on the show, it was kind of something that I had to watch because it's so easy for these guys to get hurt, and I would feel awful if a guy's opportunity got ruined because of a sparring session.
Another thing that I thought stood out was the fact that he was talking about Conor McGregor used to coach his boxing class. And so he's watched Conor's come up from the beginning and watched his rise into stardom. That's just phenomenal to watch. And then he always knew and had faith in Conor's ability to coach. But let's check out this last bonus clip of the night. Diving into the mind of Conor on sparring and shooting the movie Roadhouse, he had some very interesting things to say.
So we give these kids a good dig out. We do a few sessions with them, schooling drills. I actually want to do slow motion drills, yeah? And like, for me, placement is everything for you, yeah? See if we're doing pads, right? I'm hitting the pads. The pads isn't your body. The pads isn't your chin. Even if you're doing schooling like the way we do schooling, where we do like fast-paced schooling, like we slip on the inside. I want to build up from slow-mo, like literally stepping in and exactly where I want the punch to land. I'm cracking people on the jaw now. Like I can take the eyelash out of a blue bottle. Do you know what I mean? With the accuracy, so like, I'm almost too accurate. I want to hit the skull a lot of the time versus the chin. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like, let's say I'm fighting a 6-footer or something, right? Or you know when you're fighting a guy, let me finish it. You know when you're fighting a guy, right? You're fighting an orthodox 6-footer or whatever. You get the orthodox 6-footer in the gym. Yeah. And you know that the guy you're fighting has a set style of fighting or whatever way he does. And you're hoping your partner can replicate that and you'll experience it in the gym. But it's a hope. It's a hope it happens in the spar, rather than actually getting the stance or getting the mechanics of the person you're competing against. Whatever the stance is, height, everything, all the mechanics, inches, everything, you know what I mean? And then doing the exact shot that you want. Do you know what I mean? And in slow motion, and even like, not like, even like the person, do you know what I was doing this with your man Gyllenhaal in the f***ing Roadhouse? But it got me thinking, I was like, if I'm fighting a southpaw, I get a southpaw in. If he's 5'10", I get a 5'10" guy in. If he throws a check hook all the time, I'm hoping my guy can throw a check hook. Yeah. And I can get that feeling of what the fight is going to be like. Instead of actually getting it what it is and slowing it right down, getting the connection where you want to get it, feeling that in your soul where you're going to strike them to end it. And then building up the speed. Because we were doing this, me and Gyllenhaal, because what they do with it is they speed it up then. So I was like, he was cracking me on the shot, was going, I was going like that and all, do you know what I mean? And then they put it together and it's like, literally, they replace his head with a pad.
Like a span only thing.
So, because I headbutt him so I had to headbutt a pad, like the headbutt the side of him, and then like the slow motion headbutt. And you want to see when they put it together. It's literally like a headbutt, the noise of it and all. I was like, it's just got me thinking about it, because you're getting a trainer partner in, hoping they can replicate exact. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just getting exactly. And then you're in your mind, do you know what I mean? Look at me glance at jaws. Look at Mayweather uppercut even. I glanced off his jaw. So if he's here, and I'm hitting a pad, it's here, it has to be, if I go up, you have to be down, but if you're upright, that uppercut has to be almost like pushing that way. Do you know what I mean?
Rashad, I know your boy is reckless. He be talking out of pocket sometimes, but I gotta say, man, he's got a very underrated mindset for fighting. I mean, his ability to read and understand fighting is underrated.
Absolutely, and even training for it. I mean, what he's talking about there is something that we experience a lot of. When you got to fight a certain guy, you bring in a certain kind of guy who's going to mimic that person. But what usually happens is you start sparring, you crack him a few good times, then next you know your partner that's supposed to be fighting a certain way starts fighting the way that he fights. And you don't really get the look that you need. But going with the drill pace, going really, really slow, making you get 1,000 repetitions or whatever that number is over and over again. So you build that muscle memory so you can't mess it up if you tried.
Well, I mean, and that's what I was saying about his mindset for fighting. It's almost as if he's practicing cheat codes. And when he was fighting and he was at the top of his game, he was beating guys with these cheat codes, exactly what he was just talking about.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to slow it down. And, you know, he gave a really good example of why you need to do that and how it can benefit.
Every episode, we'll be hitting you with the GIF of the week. We pulled this one straight from the face-offs when all the fights were announced. Rashad, has your mama ever caught you doing something and you know damn well you shouldn't have been doing it? Look at him. He like a puppy that knew he did something wrong.
Yep. Oh, man.
My man is terrified.
Oh, man.
Look at him.
Oh, man. Oh, man, look at him. He already lost.
Yeah, already lost. All right, speaking of face-offs, Your face-off with Brad Imes in the finale of TUF 2. I mean, look at this. This fool was 6'7". He got you out there looking like Black Hezbollah.
But at that moment, I realized that, you know what? This might be a real tough fight for me, man. Like, he was monstrous. I don't remember him being that big on the season. It's like he grew.
Hold on, were you guys not in the house together?
Yeah, but I didn't remember him being that big. I don't know what it was. Maybe because I was around other giants, he didn't seem that big, but man, oh my goodness.
And what was it like when you actually had to fight him?
It felt all good until he grabbed me. When he grabbed a hold of me, I remember specifically thinking like, dang, I made a mistake, man. Like, because I didn't train much of my wrestling, and he just ragdolled me for a second. It was painful.
But you put them hands on him. All right,
got left hook.
But next week on The Ultimate Fighter, Team McGregor's #2 bantamweight prospect, Trevor Wells, takes on Team Chandler's #3, a dude from Dagestan, Timur Valiev. So you know this is going to be a good matchup, but the season has just begun, y'all. There's a lot more to expect on TUF 31.
On this season of The Ultimate Fighter.
It's the hardest tournament in sports, and it's kill or be killed.
Yeah, it's over there while we sleeping, think you can run your mouth. I'm trying to win. Don't be trying to come in on some fight that's not your own.
Don't let him breathe.
I'll take these one off you, man, yeah?
All right, yeah.
I'll take these off you, kid. Just 12 tone, yeah? 12 tone, my man.
It's the time!
My emotions are still Team Blue.
This is our chance. This is time for redemption.
So it's a grade 2 MCL tear.
Hey, put me in there with your boy. I'll beat his
Team here today, gone tomorrow, yeah?
You've shown us a little bit of you that everybody needs to hear.
Yeah. Thank you, so. Yes, thank you.
Y'all chasing the same dream.
Keep working. Oh, beautiful shot, that hurt them. That's it. Yeah!
It's my time, and it's time for the young blood to take over.
Maybe if you showed up and break your nose, you little foolie.
Get out of my way.
Ooh-wee, this is going to be a wild season, but Rashad, thank you for coming and kicking with me.
Hold on. We ain't getting out of here just yet. We got to at least see something from season 4. I mean, you showed me all day. We got to show
Hold on, wait a minute.
something
What you
from
talking
season.
about?
We got to show something from season, man.
Thomas. Dean is very skillful.
Oh, no.
He's good standing up, good on the ground. He's good everywhere.
167 and a half.
Look at those girls. Look at them.
They both can bang. They're both good on the ground. It's going to be a good fight.
Too much speed, Dean. Too much speed. Grab the arm. You got it, Dean.
Get him, Dean. Come on, Dean. Look at that.
That's it, Dean.
Oh, my goodness.
That's it.
Look at you, young man.
Yo. Hey, that was back in the 1800s.
So I'm talking about.
Good job,
It was
Mike.
all green.
I know.
Yeah, triangle.
Wow. I mean, woo. That brings back memories. It's kind of traumatizing, but I don't know. I love it.
Made you sweat.
Made me. I know. Look at me. I'm over here sweating. Well, listen. You down to come back or what, man? You gonna come back kick it with me one of these weeks, man?
I would love to.
Well, I hope so. But make sure you check out the next episode of The Ultimate Fighter, Team McGregor versus Team Chandler, Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Then stick around for After TUF with me and TUF season winner, 15 winner Michael Chandler, as we break down episode 2 live on ESPN Plus, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now it's time for some tough love. Life is all about opportunity. And I've always said in my life that I'm always doing one of two things. I'm either taking advantage of an opportunity or I'm preparing for one. This season of TUF is presenting the greatest opportunity that a fighter can ask for in their career. No matter if you're a veteran or a prospect, all you've ever wanted were resources, exposure, and a chance to display your skills. Now, I love the fact that Conor McGregor is coaching the prospects. Conor has the greatest prospect story we've ever seen in MMA. He took advantage of every opportunity that was given to him, and he became the biggest star in all of MMA. But let's face it, some of us have lost faith in the notorious. I mean, we can forgive you for back-to-back losses to Dustin Poirier. I'd lose to the boy too. But all the outside incidents of the octagon, come on, dog. You are not being that martial artist that you claim to be. So this is an opportunity for Conor. This is an opportunity for Conor to show the MMA community that he's still one of us. Or is he for the streets? That will only be seen on this season of TUF. Until we meet again, I'm Dean Thomas, and I'm not here to give you problems. I'm just here to give you some tough love. Have a good night.